Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, so what if I told you that you could multiply your income, not by grinding harder, but by changing just one single question you ask yourself every day? It's a pretty wild idea from Coach Bank's Pocket, and today we're going to dive right into it. And yeah, there it is. A promise that, let's be honest, sounds almost too good to be true. Multiply your income by 10. It's a huge claim, but the whole thing is built on one deceptively simple shift in how you talk to yourself. So what's actually holding most of us back? Well, it often starts with the questions we ask ourselves, especially when things go wrong. The source calls this the negative question trap, and it's a cycle that so many of us are stuck in without even knowing it. You know the feeling, right? Some kind of setback hits, you get some bad news, and your brain's automatic reflex is to ask, why am I so unlucky? Or, why does this stuff always happen to me? It's just a gut reaction. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Look at this chain reaction. It's not just some harmless passing thought. When you ask that negative question, you get a negative feeling. And if you do it enough, your brain literally starts to believe it's true. And that just pulls you deeper into this downward spiral. The idea here is that this constant negative energy you're putting out actually attracts more of the same, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of bad luck. All right, so if the wrong question sends you spiraling down, it makes total sense that the right question could launch you in the other direction, right? This is the whole foundation of what's called the powerful question technique. And this slide just lays it out so perfectly. It's a conscious flip. On the left, you've got a reality defined by that one negative question. But on the right, you have a completely different reality created by its opposite. The key is that you have to intentionally interrupt that old negative pattern, no matter what is happening around you. So here's the key insight. Think of your brain like a search engine. The questions you ask it are basically its search terms. If you type in, "Why am I so unlucky?" it's going to work tirelessly to find all the evidence to prove you right. But when you flip the script and ask, "Why am I so lucky?" you give it a brand new, way more powerful mission. Go find all the proof of your good fortune instead. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Asking, "Why am I so lucky?" right after your boss just chewed you out. It feels a little delusional, doesn't it? But the thing is, this isn't about ignoring reality. It's about building a powerful new mental habit. So let's look at the practical process for how you actually do this. So here's the simple 3-step breakdown. First, the event happens. The criticism, the setback, whatever. Second, and listen, this is the most important part. Before that old negative question can even take hold, you consciously interrupt it with a powerful question. Why am I so lucky this happened? And then third, you just let your brain do its new job. It will start digging for an answer that reframes the entire event in a positive way. And you can apply this to literally anything. Feeling frustrated that you're single? Interrupt. Ask, "Why am I lucky?" And maybe the answer is, "I have total freedom to focus on myself." Annoyed that you're stuck in traffic? Interrupt. "I'm lucky because I get a forced moment to just breathe and listen to some music." See? The situation on the outside is the same, but your internal reality and your energy is completely transformed. So when you start practicing this consistently, over and over again, you're doing way more than just reframing one-off events. You're actually building momentum. You're fundamentally changing the entire trajectory of your life. And look, this isn't just some abstract feel-good theory. The speaker is really candid about this, sharing that his own life was once completely defined by this negative questioning, which led to what he calls a constant series of bad luck. But by deliberately, consciously flipping that one question, he transformed his entire experience into a series of good luck. The huge takeaway here is that luck isn't just something that randomly happens to you. It's a pattern. It's a series of events that you can actively influence based on where you choose to aim your brain's focus. Now, it is really important to be real about this. It takes effort to get this new gear turning. The source really stresses that this is going to feel unnatural, maybe even a little forced at first. That beginning phase is the toughest because you are actively working to break a lifelong mental habit. You literally have to force the change in the beginning. And that really brings us to the final point. This whole process, this inner questioning, it's a private conversation. Nobody else hears it. But the one person who does hear it, you, is the one person who believes it completely. So that single, private choice of question, that's what determines the answers you find, the reality you see, and ultimately the life you create.